Hey, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to see how we can create data stores, use them inside the story, and also make use of variables when we are creating our stores. So for this, first of all, go to Chatbot AI and go to data store. Of course, we do not have any existing data store, so we'll have to create a new one. So think of data store as a collection of values. So I'm going to create a new data store of dairy, and I'm going to add a few values in this data store, milk, egg, and let's say grade. Once I save this data store, you'll see a few things like dairy. There are values, and the type of this data store is global. And you see this little cross icon here, which means that this data store is not being used in any of the stories. So I'm going to create a new story and use this data store inside the story. So because I told you that a data store is a collection of values, so instead of typing milk, egg, and bread here like keywords, what I can do is click on this variable button, and that will open up all data stores. And there are a few data stores which are pre-built in by Botsify, but there is also a data store which I just created. So I'll use that, and which means that this is basically equivalent of writing milk. So what I'll do is set a response. You are typing dairy products, and going to save this data store. So let's just try it in our chatbot and see how it works. I'm typing I like milk, and my chatbot will understand that there is a milk which is a data store value. So the chatbot respond with this message. But if I say I like egg, even then my chatbot is going to recognize my question and reply me with the same message. But in case I type I like water, then it's not a dairy product, so my chatbot is not going to recognize my choice or my question. Coming back to Botsify. Now your question is, why do I have to create a data store when I can type the keyword value as it is? So the thing is, at times what happens is you are using the same set of keywords in several different stories. So what you could do is create one data store for those set of values and use this single data store and maintain it from one single place, rather than even if let's say tomorrow I want to add one more value to my dairy products, then I would end up adding it to 5 or 6 different stories, or maybe I'll forget to add in any of these stories. So rather than using them as keywords, what I would do is create a data store for it. Now look at the variable. So what I'll do is I will click on variable, and in this drop down what I'll see is I have a new user variable here. So I'll use that, make sure I remove extra spaces, then I save this store. So what this variable would do is, if I type I like egg, my chatbot will recognize that I specifically picked egg as my data value, and the chatbot basically for my complete question is picking just one word, which is the data store value, and sending me that as a variable in my response. So this is another benefit of using the data stores, that you can your chatbot basically can extract those values out of the user questions. Now let's look at what we mean by the existing data stores like location, date, time, and email and number. So for example, if I use the number as my data store type, and let me replace this. So what I've done is I've used built-in data store of number here in my question together with dairy. So somebody who types like I need 2 eggs, or I need 2 kg milk, my chatbot will recognize this as the number, and then my chatbot will be able to extract this information out of the user question and say you need 2 eggs. So let's try this out. Let's save it, and now I will type I need 2 eggs. So now my chatbot is able to extract the 2 out of the user question and egg separately and converted them into 2 different variables of bit/number and date. So this is exactly what built-in data stores means. Here you can use email, so you cannot technically include all the email values manually in your data store. So that's why Botsify have done it for you. So you do not have to add all those values into the emails. Here you can use other data stores like URL as well. So technically you cannot write all the URLs of all the websites in the world into your data stores values. That's why Botsify have done it for you. So you just simply have to use it rather than keep adding values of different URLs into your data store values. So now let's go back to data store and see what this global means. So global means that the data store acts as a global data store and is available for all your users. But if you go and edit this data store and toggle this button on and make it a user data store, then you are able to store this as a user attribute. So now that we have 2 data stores, one is bit number and other is the user attribute of dairy, and you know that we're already using this dairy in our story, so I'm not going to modify anything here, just to show you the difference. So let's try this in our Facebook page now. So now my chatbot says you need to add. Now, because I updated the dairy to be of the user attribute type, so if I go to users and go to my users list, you'll see my user which got to this chatbot on Facebook listed in this list. If I click on show attribute, this will show you that this user particularly picked egg out of the dairy products. But if I go here and update it my choice, like I need 2 milk, my chatbot will pick up this information from my question, and if I refresh this list and show you user attributes of my user now my dairy choice has been updated to milk. So at any point where you are collecting the data like age or gender information, you would want to make it specific to a particular user. So in that case, what you would want to do is use the user attribute type of the data store. I hope you like the video. It is complex, but it is very essential and important to make any complex chatbot. So you will be using it a lot. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe our channel and see you in the next video.